Welcome to today's news discussion. I'm Dana. I'm here with Matt. We've got a lot to cover, so let's dive right in.
Absolutely, Dana. I'm excited to discuss the latest news with you. So, what's the first story we're looking at?
We've got an interesting one to start with. A new Gallup poll finds that younger Americans are now more pessimistic about the job market than older Americans. This is a reversal from just a few years ago.
That's surprising. What do you think is driving the shift in optimism?
Well, the poll suggests that younger Americans are becoming increasingly downbeat about their job prospects, while older Americans remain more upbeat. It's not entirely clear why, but it's definitely an interesting trend.
I agree. It's a significant change from the past when younger Americans were typically more optimistic about the job market. Do you think this is related to the current economic conditions or something more specific?
That's a good question. The articles don't specify, but it's possible that the current economic uncertainty or the impact of the Iran war on global markets could be contributing factors. Speaking of which, let's talk about the recent developments in Iran.
Yes. The situation in Iran has been making headlines. Oil prices surged more than 4% after President Trump rejected Tehran's response to the latest U.S. ceasefire proposal.
That's right. And it's not just oil prices that are being affected. Asian shares are mixed, with some markets rising and others falling. It seems like the global market is quite sensitive to the developments in Iran.
The uncertainty surrounding the conflict is definitely causing volatility in the markets. It's interesting to see how different sectors are reacting. For instance, technology-related stocks in Japan and South Korea are still doing well despite the Iran war.
That's a good point. The tech sector seems to be somewhat insulated from the immediate effects of the conflict, which brings us to Aramco's recent earnings report.
Yes. Aramco's Q1 profit jumped 25% due to higher oil prices and the company's decision to shift some of its oil shipments away from the Strait of Hormuz.
Exactly. The conflict in Iran has clearly had a positive impact on Aramco's bottom line, at least in the short term. But it's also worth noting that the company has been working to diversify its exports and reduce its reliance on the Strait of Hormuz.
That's a smart move, considering the geopolitical risks involved. It's interesting to see how companies like Aramco are adapting to the changing landscape. On a different note, have you heard about Portugal's efforts to strengthen its economic ties with India?
Yes, I have. Portugal is looking to leverage its expertise in areas like renewable energy and digital technologies to complement India's infrastructure and industrialization push.
That's a great example of how countries can work together to create mutually beneficial partnerships. The upcoming EU-India Free Trade Agreement is likely to further facilitate this cooperation.
Absolutely. It's exciting to see how different countries are exploring new ways to collaborate and drive economic growth. Shifting gears a bit, let's talk about Barrick Mining's recent earnings report.
Yes. Barrick Mining beat Wall Street estimates for its first quarter profit thanks to higher gold prices. The company's adjusted net earnings jumped 173% year over year.
That's a significant increase. It's clear that the current gold price environment is benefiting Barrick Mining. But what about the company's production levels? Were they affected by any factors during the quarter?
Actually, the articles mention that Barrick's production was lower, but the higher gold prices more than made up for it. The company's earnings report was a positive surprise for investors.
That's great to hear. It's always interesting to see how companies in different sectors are performing. As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that there are many factors at play in the global economy.
Absolutely, Dana. From the job market in the U.S. to the conflicts in Iran and their impact on oil prices, there's a lot to keep an eye on. And it's not just about the big picture trends. Individual companies like Aramco and Barrick Mining are also navigating these complex landscapes.
That's a great point, Matt. It's been a pleasure discussing these stories with you. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye, Dana. Thanks for the discussion. It's always enlightening to explore these news stories together.